Hello dear students, in this lecture we will study action of a lens as a set of prism. Till now we have studied what a lens is, kinds of lens and analysis related to that. Now in this lecture we will study or we will understand converging action of a convex lens. So let us first draw convex lens. This is a convex lens, and if parallel beam of ray is coming into it, what will happen? The lens will converge them and they will meet up at a point which is known as focus. We will study all of this in later lectures. Now if we analyze this portion, or you can say if we break the lens into simpler parts, like this I'm drawing. Let us draw break for our analysis. More better we can draw. So if we break convex lens, it will look like this. Not actually we have to break, we are just breaking it for our simplification, for understanding or for analysis. So this portion will look like, so it will look like something like this. So you can see that it almost look like a triangular prism. Okay, like this. So what happen in this prism? What will happen if a parallel ray parallel to the base, this beam, this ray actually, this ray will be parallel to this base. Now what will happen? It will deviate like this. It will deviate toward the base. Okay, you can see that this is the base. In the direction toward the base of the prism, it will bend. So similarly, like this, it will, if a beam is, if a ray actually, I'm sorry, the difference between beam and ray is multiple ray you can refer as a beam. Okay, so beam is a collection of rays. So this is, if a ray is coming into this, what will happen? It will behave like a trigonal prism and it will deviate like this. So this is what we see here. This part, this is actually this one. Okay, so I hope you will understand this portion. Now if we analyze for this portion, what will happen? We will see that it look like this. And what happened in this situation? If a beam or a ray is coming into it, you can even say beam, not actually a single ray will come into this much portion. Many rays will arrive here. So you can say what will happen? Let's understand for one only here for our easy analysis. Okay, what will happen? See, it can be considered again as a part of prism. Okay, so what will happen in this situation? Again, it will behave like this with a little bit lesser deviation. Why lesser deviation? Because it will depend on the angle with which, the deviation will depend on the angle with which it make with the prism. So in this situation, the more upper you will go, the angle will be more. Okay, so like this, if you go here, angle will be more, and if you further go downward, the angle will be lesser. Okay, so deviation depends on this angle. For more incidence, you will see refraction will be more. So this is what happens here. Now similarly, if you analyze for this part, the middle part will look like a rectangular prism. Okay, so what will happen? If a ray is coming into it, it will go undeviated. Here, if a ray is coming in very between of this lens, what will happen? It will go undeviated. Okay, so this is the case. Similarly, if we do the analysis for this portion, now for this, let's first talk about the very bottom portion, means the portion which is in the bottommost point. So let us first draw it. It will look like this. You can see that it behave like a inverted prism, inverted trigonal prism. So what will happen in this situation? If a ray is coming into it, as you can see, it will bend toward the base. For direction, for understanding, you can see toward the base. So similarly, this will happen in this situation. It will deviate toward the base and will go like this. So here you can see, if it is coming, it will bend and go like this. Okay, so this is the analysis of convex lens. Okay, so I hope it will clear to you. And one more thing, I have already discussed that the very middle portion will behave like a rectangular prism, and light will go undeviated in this. Okay, why undeviated? Because for this portion, angle of incidence will be equal to 0, so angle of refraction will also be 0. Okay, if we do the same analysis for understanding diverging action of a concave lens, actually, so in this first, let us first draw concave lens. Concave lens. What happen in situation when concave lens is there? Beam is going like this, and what will happen? It will bend like this. They will deviate. Okay, deviate. So deviate to diverge, actually. If we again break into much simpler portions, you will see that here. Okay, so if let us consider any portion like this we have taken. So how it will behave? This is the actual portion. Now you can analyze it exactly like a part of a prism. Okay, with very lesser angle of prism. Okay, in this situation, prism angle is lesser. So you can say, if ray is coming into it, what will happen? It will go like this. Okay, like this. As you know that the ray will bend toward the base. So this is inverted prism, inverted trigonal prism. So it will bend toward the base of the prism. Okay, so this is the analysis related to that. Similarly, for this portion, you can understand it as this portion will act in between of a part of a cone and a rectangular prism. Okay, so deviation will also be between rectangular prism, means the amount of deviation occurs in rectangular prism and the cone, that in this situation it will be lesser, means in between of cone and rectangular prism. So what will happen? Again, this something like this, that it is again a prism of little bit more lesser angle of prism. Okay, so in this situation, less deviation will take place, because as you know that deviation depends on angle of prism. So in this situation, angle of prism is lesser, so deviation will also be lesser. So like this, here we go. Okay, so here you can see that this portion will be less deviated, okay, as compared to above. Similarly, for the part in very between, you can see that it is a type of rectangular prism. And what will happen in this situation? The ray will go undeviated, because this portion will behave like exactly rectangular prism, and angle of incidence in this situation will be 0. So angle of incidence will also be 0. Angle of refraction will also be 0. Okay, so this is the analysis related to concave lens. So we have discussed in much detail in terms of prism how deviation and deviation take place, like converging and diverging. So this is all about this lecture. Further things we will discuss in next lecture. Thank you so much for watching.